Hello, magical people out there. How are you all doing? My name is Meg Moonbeam, and welcome to the new Astro Woo for the month of June here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. I'm very happy to be here with you all today to talk about the astrology for the month of June for the whole collective, and also for each of the 12 sun, moon, and rising signs. We're going to do little mini readings for each of the signs as well. So let me know how it's going, you guys. And I feel like May has just completely gone by so fast in a flash. I feel like it was just yesterday that I did the Astro Woo for May. So it's freaking me out a little bit that I'm doing the one for June right now. Please remember, you guys, to like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube as well as Rumble channel. And I am offering personal astrology consultations that are available over at consultations.beyondmystic.net. If you'd like more of a personal astrology reading with me, I absolutely love giving personal readings. And I'm currently offering birth chart readings, solar return readings, and personal forecasts using the astrological transits. So go check that out at the link below if you'd like a personal reading with me. So yeah, the month of June, we're in very, very different energy now because we're out of Taurus season. We're out of lots of planets being in the sign of Taurus. We had some absolutely beautiful astrological transits in the month of May, some of the most positive that we can actually have in Western astrology. And the month of June, the energy is quite different. So we've got a whole lot of Gemini transits going on, which Taurus, the season we've just come out of, is all about. It's very slow, it's very steady, it's about the pleasures, comforts, and enjoyments of life, nature, planting our seeds. And Gemini is all about communication, talking, socialization. It's very light and it's very fun. So as I was preparing for today's June Astro Woo, I was very happy to see that there's a lot of positive things that we have in the month of June. And we're not over yet the nice, positive, lucky transits, even though we do have a little bit more intense energies that we will be experiencing as we get closer to the end of the month, as I'm going to share with you guys. So I want to say happy birthday to all of the June Geminis and Cancers. Shout out to all the June Geminis and Cancers, wishing you the most magical, happy birthday, solar return for your year ahead. And also want to mention that, even though we're talking about June, we just had 5 days ago from when I'm filming this video on May 25th, 2024, Jupiter, the great benefic planet, ingressed into the sign of Gemini out of Taurus, where he's been for the past year. So this is a really big energy shift because we've been going through a lot of we have been going through in the current astrology, most of the outer planets in earth and water signs for the past few years, which is quite a heavy energy. It's not very fun. It's part of the reason why things have felt so dense in recent years, is because the outer planets have been in water or earth signs. But as of last year / this year, with Pluto moving into Aquarius, an air sign, and now Jupiter ingressing into Gemini, an air sign, the energy is actually starting to get lighter and not as heavy and matrixy and down in the dumps, if you will. So I'm very happy that we have Jupiter entering Gemini, which is expanding everything in life that Gemini rules. Jupiter expands the areas of life of whatever sign he is in. For the whole rest of the year, Jupiter spends a year in each of the signs. He has a zodiac revolution of 12 years. So really loving this Jupiter in Gemini transit, as I'm going to be talking more about in lots of upcoming videos because it's a big deal. Tim, hello, Tim. You say, hello, Meg. Yay, second time live today. Yes, my second live video, and I'll be doing a third right after this Astro Woo. I'll be live with Jean-Claude and Janine for Beyond the News on Rumble, the weekly public Thursday Rumble show of Beyond the News. And the title of this video is Summer of Madness. So that will be today at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm very happy to be joining JC and Janine. So come hang out with us on Rumble in just a couple hours from now. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the key astrological dates for the month of June 2024. And let me know in the comments how you're feeling as we're now entering this month, if you felt an energy shift at all since Jupiter has entered Gemini. And what I'm going to be doing in today's Astro Woo is talking about the astrology for the month for the whole collective, and then what it means for each of the 12 signs. I'll do readings for the 12 signs as well, which is really fun. So some of our key astrology dates for the month of June. June 2nd, we're going to be having Jupiter in Gemini in an exact trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And this is a very empowering aspect that we're actually having for the whole month of June. Jupiter will be in trine to Pluto, but June 2nd will be the exact trine day. Pluto in Aquarius is, Pluto is the power of planet rather of power and transformation. So we're going through great empowerment in the areas of life that Aquarius rules, which is freedom and the collective brotherhood and sisterhood of humanity, and moving forward into the age of Aquarius. And Jupiter being the planet of expansion in trine to Pluto this month and exact on June 2nd is very positive and benefically assisting us as the collective brotherhood, sisterhood, humanity to step into that future, to move past heaviness that's been holding us back. I think we're going to be seeing with Jupiter in Gemini in trine to Pluto in Aquarius this month, some big inventions, maybe even healing inventions coming out into the public, new forms of social media, or ways for us to be connecting with each other. And then on June 4th, we have Sun in Gemini conjunct Venus in Gemini, and Mercury in Gemini conjunct Jupiter in Gemini on the same day. So two pretty big conjunctions on the same day. Venus kazimi on June 4th. So kazimi is when a planet is exactly conjunct the sun. So June 4th is a day where our values, our love life, our commitments will be very highlighted. And when a planet is in kazimi to the sun, we can be receiving very profound divine insights about whatever planet that rules in life. So Venus is all about our values, money, the financial system, love life. So that's a day, June 4th, to pay attention to. And if you are a Leo, Taurus, or Libra, so the signs ruled by either the sun or the Venus in astrology, that can be a pretty significant day for you, June 4th. Then June 6th, we're going to have a beautiful, magical new moon in Gemini that I'm going to talk about. We'll bring up the chart and talk about that new moon. On June 8th, Mars enters the sign of Taurus, which I'm very happy about because we've got so much Gemini energy this month. Holy guacamole. Sun in Gemini, new moon in Gemini, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, all in Gemini. That Mars being in Taurus, I feel like is helping us to stay somewhat grounded physically with all this Gemini influence this month. So we've got something in Taurus, which is nice. We've also got Uranus in Taurus, but Mars is one of the inner planets, which is very much about our physicality, where we're putting our energy and our drive. So nice that he is going to be in the sign of Taurus. And on June 14th, we're going to have Sun in Gemini conjunct Mercury in Gemini. This is what we call in Western astrology a Mercury kazimi. So we're going to have a Venus kazimi June 4th, Venus in exact conjunction to the Sun, and then a Mercury kazimi on June 14th. Mercury exactly conjunct the sun. So that's going to be a day with, it's not just a Mercury kazimi. Mercury is in his home sign, one of his home signs of Gemini, conjunct the sun. So that makes the influence of Mercury very, very strong. And when we have Mercury sun conjunctions, Mercury kazimis, these are very profound days of receiving downloads, insights directly from source, directly from God, the sun, Christ consciousness. So June 14th is a day that you're going to want to be aware of. to pay attention to the insights, ideas, thoughts that you have. We're going to bring up the chart for that as well, so we'll talk about that a little bit more. And June 17th, we're going to have Mercury in his home sign of Gemini in square to Neptune in his home sign of Pisces. And on the same day, Mercury enters the sign of Cancer. So, we have a lot of different astrological aspects happening all the time. Every day, there's different transits and aspects that are going on. But it's very powerful when we have an aspect of two heavenly bodies that are in their home sign in the Western astrology. So Mercury in his home sign of Gemini and Neptune in his home sign of Pisces in square. That's going to be a little bit of a tension point where, Gemini and Mercury are about information. Neptune and Pisces are about spirituality, the medical system, the healing institutions, the arts fields, creativity. So I feel like there could be some news, Gemini rules news, Mercury's news, that is not easy to hear regarding the medical system, regarding maybe certain things that have been done to people in the past few days on June 17th or around June 17th. So that's going to be a day where there's going to be some possibly triggering medical information that comes out. Something gets revealed to us in that regard with that Mercury square Neptune. And then on June 20th, we're going to have the summer solstice. Yay! One of my most favorite times of the year. Happy solstice to everybody. Happy summer in the Northern Hemisphere to everyone. And of course, the summer solstice in Western astrology is when the sun enters 0 degrees of Cancer season. So summer solstice, we're entering that summer season, and at the same time entering Cancer season. And then the next day on June 21st, we're going to have a pretty potent, intense full moon in Capricorn. And we're actually going to have 2 full moon Capricorns in a row this summer. Full moon in Capricorn in June, and then another full moon in Capricorn in July, with Pluto about to be retrograding back into Capricorn for the very last time this September. So we're going to talk about that. I'll bring up the chart for the full moon in Capricorn, and we'll talk about that. And then lastly, the last main key date that I have here to share with you all is on June 29th. Saturn, Granddaddy Saturn, as I like to call him, is going to be going retrograde in the sign of Pisces until November 15th, 2024. So we've got Pluto retrograde right now. We're about to also, there's the thumbs up again. This comes up sometimes when we do these live videos. We've got Pluto retrograde at the moment, and we're also about to have Saturn go retrograde. So this summer, going into this autumn, we're going to have a little bit of a retrograde city movement. And just one second, you guys, I've just had a weird thing pop up on my computer that I'm just going to get rid of. One second here. Okay, awesome. So yeah, those are our key dates for the month of June. And let's see, what else have we got here? So I'm going to share some of the charts. We're going to look specifically at some of those key dates that I just mentioned that I think are the most interesting. So we're going to look at the chart for the new moon in Gemini, June 6th. Also the chart for the Mercury kazimi on June 14th, and the chart for the full moon in Capricorn as well on June 21st. So, and then we're going to do mini readings for each of the 12 signs. Okay. And sorry, you guys, I just need to fix something on my computer here real quick. Just bear with me for one moment. I'm finding even though we're not in a Mercury retrograde, there's like some really funny technical things that are going on. So anyways, okay, I think my computer's fixed now. All right, so this new moon in Capricorn, we're going to be having on June 6th at new moon in Gemini is happening on June 6th at 16 degrees of Gemini. And this is a very special new moon because we're having a triple heavenly body, triple planetary conjunction of the sun and the moon. Of course, every new moon is when the sun and moon are conjunct from our Earth's perspective, with Venus also conjunct the sun and the moon. So we call this a triple planetary conjunction. And Venus is one of the benefic planets. So this is a very positive influence over the new moon to have Venus exactly conjunct. There are some adverse aspects that we are going to have, but I think the fact that Venus is conjunct this new moon, when new moons are all about new beginnings, setting our intentions, fresh new energies with Venus in conjunction, this is an amazing new moon to plant the seeds of intentions for whatever you want to put out there, whatever you want to manifest or co-create. And in particular, it's a very good new moon to be focusing intentions around the Gemini ruled areas of life. So Gemini is all about communication, all forms of different communication, speaking, writing, learning, teaching, publishing, books, podcasting, social media, speaking our truth, being in truth, common sense. Gemini also rules our local community, short distance travel, friends, siblings, and cousins as well, and our day-to-day activities. So really good to be setting intentions on that new moon around those Gemini ruled areas of life. But really, you can set your intention with anything that your heart desires, that you feel like putting out there. And this new moon is at 16 degrees, which is a Cancer degree. So there is a strong influence of our home country, our home family, family of origin, the home that we live in. Many of us may be inspired to make positive changes in the home we live in moving forward with our family and relationships with our family. If there's been any issues with relationships with family members, and that's kind of been a theme that I've heard a lot lately with some friends and with my astrology clients, is, issues in the family because of the things that have been going on the past few years. There can be great healing and moving forward positively with this new moon in Gemini at a Cancer degree. And hello, Maria. Very nice to see you in the comments. I'm in Belgium too at the moment, so we're not too far away from each other. So I think this is a really good new moon for setting intentions. And you also want to check where you have Gemini 16 degrees in your chart to see what specific area of life is being activated for you. We're going to see in the collective, again, those Gemini ruled areas of life really, really highlighted. You guys are going to see in today's Astro Woo, I'm going to be talking a lot about the Gemini ruled areas of life. So communication, information, there's going to be so much new information coming out, being revealed to the public this month of June that is helping us move forward into the age of Aquarius, into the future with that beautiful Jupiter in Gemini in trine to Pluto in Aquarius. So at the time of this new moon, big stellium of planets in Gemini. And there are a couple adverse aspects. So the new moon is in a square to Saturn at 18 degrees of Pisces. And we do have Mars in square to Pluto, which is one of the most intense aspects that we can have in astrology, with a like conjunction of Mars and Chiron. So there is in the collective, a tense energy, and I think we can already see that. There's some tense energies going on in the collective with that new moon, with the Mars in Aries in square to Pluto. The last time that we had Mars in Aries, I think was October 7th, and I did a Beyond Astro weekly forecast. And I said, okay, you guys, we've got Mars square Pluto. Watch out. This is a very, can be quite an aggressive, frustrating aspect. We could see something pop off in the collective, even though I don't want that to happen, just have to say as an astrologer. And then that ended up being the day that there was the attacks that started the new war in the Middle East. So we're coming back again to another Mars square Pluto, but that was during, some more intense astrological transits. We were going through an eclipse season at that point, which I think was amplifying it even more. So I don't think this Mars square Pluto will be as intense for the collective, But I do think that it's inspiring us to be aware of frustrations that we may be having, around where maybe our power has been taken away. Also, with that Mars in conjunction to Chiron, there can be wounds coming to the surface of where we've given our power away. What haven't we manifested or created in our lives that we want to? That is in resonance with our values. So this can be a very inspiring new moon. Some people may be a little bit more on edge or easily frustrated with that Mars square Pluto. So just remember, you guys, not taking anything personally is very, very important. Not to be spiritual bypassing, but anything that anybody perceives of us or projects onto us is actually a reflection of them and not of us. So it's important not to take things personally. So yeah, I'm liking that new moon in Gemini. And I feel like just to be also important and discerning of what information you are taking in, and is it fear-based or love and truth-based? Because I think with that square to Saturn with the new moon, some forces will be trying to scare us through news media. But at the same time, there is genuine positive developments and new information coming out for humanity, which is very, very exciting. So definitely set your intentions around then. And then also, as I mentioned earlier, I brought up this chart for the Mercury kazimi that we're going to be having on June 14th, 2024. Mercury is going to be in exact conjunction to the sun, in the heart of the sun, as the ancient Arabic word kazimi means. And these are very special, auspicious days, Mercury kazimis, where we can receive divine insights, downloads directly from source. So you're going to want to check, if you feel to, where you have Gemini 24 degrees in your personal chart, because that's an area of life on June 14th with this Mercury kazimi. There can be some very beautiful divine insights and downloads and clarity that you are receiving in that area of life. So be sure to check that out. And for the whole collective, this is a day of, with the sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, all in Gemini. And again, that Jupiter trying to Pluto, empowering information coming out to humanity to help us move forward into the future, inventions, new ways to communicate, wins for freedom of speech, wins for common sense, more people waking up to what's been going on in the world and not sleeping anymore. So, and that's Mercury, as I said, in his home sign of Gemini. So very, very powerful Mercury kazimi, the most powerful that we can possibly have with Mercury in his home sign. And then the other collective chart that I want to share with you all is for the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st. And I'm just going to take a little sip of water. Don't mind me. I talk all day, every day, you guys. So just bear with me when I have to take a sip of water. Oh, and I see Space Geek here says, so true. I needed to hear that, Meg. Thank you. I'm a normie transitioning to truther world. It's challenging. I always give a thumbs up to Meg. Wow. Well, Space Geek, congratulations for taking the red pill. And it doesn't sound like you're a normie anymore. If you're even watching this video, you are in the truther world. You are a magical creature. And thank you for being you and for honoring you. And yeah, it is challenging, but it's better to be seeing the truth. It's not easy, but when you see the truth, you can live an authentic life in mind, body, and spirit. So Space Geek, congratulations for the recent, seems like wake up, and I'm sending lots of love your way. Okay, so let's talk about this full moon in Capricorn on June 21st. So I feel like the energy this month is going to be pretty light. But then as we get until the end of June, closer to this full moon, it's going to start getting a little bit more intense, okay? Because as I said, we're going to have 2 full moons in a row in the sign of Capricorn, which is all about the structures and systems of life, the government. Capricorn is one of the heavy malefic signs, and the moon is at detriment in Capricorn. The moon does not really love to be in the sign of Capricorn. So these are going to be two really heavy full moons in Capricorn in June and July, where we're really going to start to see dismantling, and I will use the word destruction, of the matrix systems that no longer serve us. Because remember, we're about to have, and I know I've been saying this over and over and over again, but I will say it again. We are going to be having Pluto retrograde into Capricorn for the very last time in our lives in over 240 years, from September 1st to November 18th. So these two full moons in Capricorn in a row, which is pretty rare and kind of weird that we're even having that, 2 in a row, and the balloons are going off. Okay, very interesting. Are the last full moons in Capricorn during this Pluto in Capricorn transit. Full moons are about endings, cleansing, completion, and illumination. So this full moon in Capricorn, June 21st, the day after the summer solstice, is really highlighting our governments, our leadership, the systems of life. And the systems of the matrix, rather. And we've got Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees as well, ending degree, but not yet soon going into Aries, because Neptune is going to be going retrograde soon. So we're at this major completion point. Okay. And you're going to want to see where you have the sign of Capricorn in your life, because with the full moon in June and the full moon in July, you're likely to be going through in your personal life a very big completion point of something coming to an ending in that area of life. But at the same time, full moons are not just about endings and completions, they're also about illumination, right? When the moon is full and we go outside, we see grandmother moon is shining very bright on us, and we can see in the darkness easier than any other time in the moon cycle. So it illuminates, it brings clarity and light to us. So also see where you have Capricorn in your chart, where there is illumination and clarity coming forward as well. So we're likely to see with these full moon in Capricorn, some leaders possibly losing their positions of power, some governments, ways of governing systems coming to a completion point. And this full moon in June is at 1 degree, which is an Aries degree. Aries is all about energy and action, also leadership, and moving ahead boldly and bravely. So it's really highlighting our leaders, a completion coming to certain governmental leaders, certain prolific leaders. So I'm very interested to see who particularly this is going to be. And Aries is fast. So it's also a fast ability to cleanse and let go of what no longer serves as well. And it's also highlighting, Capricorn rules our work, our career, our public reputation. So with these two full moons in Capricorn in a row, a lot of us will be inspired to maybe make major work changes, to perhaps step into entrepreneurship, self-leadership. There's going to be a lot of changes in the career sector, personally, and in the collective as well. And with this full moon, the sun and the moon, they're always in an opposition when we've got a full moon, and they're in a T-square, an almost exact T-square to Neptune. So what does a T-square mean? Two heavenly bodies are in an opposition, and at the same time, they're in square to another heavenly body. So sun, moon are opposite, full moon, and they're both in square to Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces. Wow. So you're also going to want to see where you've got at this full moon 29 degrees of Pisces, because that's another point of life that is really being highlighted, that there can be something coming to a completion point, but specifically Neptune rules with illusions in its shadow side, and it's in a square So it's highlighting more of the shadow side. Neptune is about confusion, lies, manipulation, mind control. So there could be even more information, as if we haven't had it already, with that full moon on June 21st, of the mind control being revealed from certain authority forces that has really been done to the public. And also wherever we've got wherever we've got Pisces 29 degrees in life, in our chart, we can be, realizing something as an illusion or something as a lie that we've either been doing as a self-sabotage pattern or that has been around us in life. So check where you have Pisces 29 degrees as well as Capricorn 1 degrees. Hello, Lakeside Laura. Very nice to see you. You say, yikes, Chiron and Jupiter 24 degrees Pisces. Chiron and Jupiter 24 degrees Pisces. Is that... No, that's not right now. What chart are you looking at? Oh, you're talking about your personal chart. Okay. You've got your Chiron and your Jupiter at 24 degrees Pisces. So yeah, you're going to be feeling that square to Neptune more strongly than other people who don't have Pisces placements. Nice to see you, Laura. So yeah, just to highlight again, some of my full moon predictions are major ending of a government body, structures and systems of life within the matrix, leaders being highlighted and some of them losing their positions of power. We're going to be having in the United Kingdom and Belgium in the month of June elections, federal elections. And Belgium is going to be really, really interesting because the leading party at the moment is one that is called the Vlaams Bloc. And if they do get in and do happen to win a majority, they're going to want to do huge changes to Belgium. And Belgium is the heart of the European Union, the seat of the European Union. So I'm going to talk about that a bit more in the Beyond the News later today in just an hour and a bit with Jean-Claude and Janine. So be sure to check us out for Beyond the News at 4 p.m. on Rumble. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting geopolitically what's going to go on with this full moon in the collective major endings. And in our personal lives with this full moon in Capricorn, this is reality checks and needing to be discernment of illusions. We've also got in the USA's chart, this full moon is in an opposition to its natal Venus. So the financial system is very highlighted. There can be a little bit of challenging things going on financially in the US around that full moon. And of course, Europe will be very highlighted as, I've been talking about Uranus is at 24 degrees of Taurus right now, conjunct the moon of Europe with this full moon in Capricorn. So major changes with the governments in Europe as well. Oh, Laura, you're saying full moon on our 30th wedding anniversary. Happy 30th wedding anniversary. That is beautiful. Okay. And Jane says the EU should be disbanded. I agree with you very much, Jane. Okay, so let's get into little mini readings for each of the 12 signs for the month of June. And please put in the live chat or the comments below, what is your sun, moon, rising? What signs do we have here today for the month of June in today's Astro Woo? So, okay, we're going to start with the Aries, sun, moon, and rising. So Aries, happy month of June. How are you guys all doing? You are having this month of June a stellium of planets in the sign of Gemini in your third house of Gemini. So this is really highlighting your friends, your group associations as well, because Jupiter is in your third house in a beautiful trine to Pluto in your 11th house. There's new friends coming forward, new people, new conversations, new things you're learning, new group associations. This is a great month, Aries, to be spending time with your friends in your local community, starting a new course or a subject if you've been feeling to do that. And I'm feeling Spirit say very, very strongly, Aries, get out into like-minded community, okay? Because also there's something about Spirit wants me to say, a lot of you are going to start entering leadership positions. And I know many Aries are already in leadership positions, but you are needed in the community, in the like-minded communities, to step up as leaders and inspirational people. So I'm really feeling that strong. Get out into your like-minded community. Rational Mind Riot says, I keep hearing new friends are coming. Well, they are coming for the Aries if you don't already have like-minded friends. So that's very, very exciting. Also, with that Jupiter in your third house in trine to Pluto in your 11th, it's a really good time to be doing any online work, any putting yourself out on social media to integrate that into your work or career. You can get involved with tech or innovative projects coming forward that are helping us step into the future age of Aquarius, which is very exciting. So whenever we got a lot going on in the third house or in the sign of Gemini, it's quite busy. So Aries, this is going to be a very busy month where it's good for you to be busy. It's good for you to be with your friends, to be learning new things, to be open to new futuristic ways of doing things, and getting out into like-minded community. And that new moon in Gemini on June 6th is an amazing time to set new intentions around those third house ruled areas of life that I just mentioned. We've also got for you, Aries, full moon in Capricorn at 1 degrees on June 21st, happening in your 10th house. And this full moon is in a T-square to Neptune in your 12th. So full moon in Capricorn in your 10th house, this is highlighting your work and your career and your public reputation, Aries. So are you happy with the work and the career that you have at the moment, or are there changes that need to be made there? A lot of Aries will be ending careers or work projects that they're feeling completed with, and also being inspired and illuminated to step into, again, there's a theme of entrepreneurship, leadership, moving forward into possibly a totally different new career path. Also, your parents and elders are highlighted because the 10th house rules parents and elders, and there can be a very big life change or breakthrough happening with them. So Aries, I'm sending lots and lots of love your way. And let's pull a card for the Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising. And today I'm pulling cards from my Starseed Oracle deck. So let's see what is the message for all the Aries for the month of June. Ooh, I don't get this one a lot. Baby steps, action, which is one of the key words for Aries. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Interesting. So Aries, usually you guys are very action oriented, but what is it that you've maybe not been putting action towards that you know that you need to be putting action towards? And I feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with your position in community to help usher in this age of Aquarius. Also, your working career. I feel like those are two really highlighted areas for the Aries right now. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Just if you keep getting a spidey sense feeling about something, go and do it. Follow your heart, follow your intuition. Take action and baby steps, as you Aries are so naturally good at doing. Okay, so let me know, Aries, in the comments if that resonates. What I've shared, I hope it does. Laura says, oh my gosh, right on. Don't overthink it. Yeah, don't overthink it. Just go. So I love you, Aries, and I'm wishing you a very, very magical month of June. Now we're going to move to my fellow Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings. I am a Taurus rising, so shout out to all my Tauruses out there. We've had a really interesting month of May, didn't we, Taurus, with all of those different transits in our sign. So I hope you had a very magical month of May. Let me know what opportunities or developments happened for you, Taurus, in the comments below if you feel like sharing. So for us Tauruses, our luck ain't over yet, okay? Because we've got both lunations this month have the Sun conjunct Venus, our planetary ruler, very, very positive. We also have, we've just had Jupiter in our sign of Gemini for the past year, which was very, very nice and benefic for us, but nothing to boo-hoo or weep about with Jupiter leaving our sign, because for the whole next year, as Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, Jupiter is transiting over our second house, which is the Taurus ruled areas of life. This is our house, Taurus. It's the Taurus house. So we've got Jupiter transiting over our house, the second house. This is very, very empowering for us Tauruses for not just the month of June, but for the whole next year. And with Jupiter in our second house, this is bringing in new positive income streams, new reinvigoration of our values and pleasures and enjoyments of life, and just overall well-being having Jupiter in our home second house. So that's really, really nice. The new moon on June 6th, happening at 16 degrees Gemini, is of course happening in our second house with all of the other major Gemini transits happening this month. So very good, Taurus, for us to be setting intentions that are in alignment with our values. Of course, Taurus rules values. Also intentions around income, money, our resources, pleasures, and enjoyments of life. Those are all really good areas that are in alignment for us to be focusing on this new moon, and we can have positive developments in those areas of life with this new moon. As I said, at the new moon, Venus, our ruler, is in exact conjunction to the new moon. So this is quite positive and lucky, if I do say so myself. We are having Tauruses some possible power struggles, okay, with work or older people in our life, because we have Pluto right on our midheaven in square to Mars, conjunct our rising. So I feel like the Tauruses are really up leveling right now, and this may be triggering other people around you, Taurus, but don't take it personally. If there are power struggles coming up, then, the best advice I can say to you is don't take it personally and follow your heart and do what you have to do, because the Tauruses are going through a huge up level with Pluto on our midheaven. Yeah, Linda says you got the burps again. I do. Whenever I channel energy, I start burping. So I'm very sorry, you guys, about that. But yeah, Taurus is very, very empowering, very powerful transits still going on for us. So beautiful new moon in our second house. And then the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st at 1 degrees of Capricorn is happening in our ninth house. So this can be, if we're working professionally in another country, or something that has to do with another country or foreign people, or a foreign type of work career, travel career, that could be coming to a completion point with this full moon in Capricorn. Some relationships that we may have with foreign people or entities can be coming to an ending point. We can be ending courses that we've been taking. Some Tauruses may be traveling around the time of that full moon in Capricorn. And when we have full moons in our ninth house, we are being tested on our beliefs and letting go beliefs that no longer serve us. And something that I've been really noticing as a theme with people in my life is the wound of organized religion and cults. And for many Tauruses, that might be a theme that comes up, letting go of the beliefs that have been implanted from religions or cults that were implanted into us from an early age. So yeah, very empowering full moon that we've got in Capricorn. As I said, it's one of 2 full moon in Capricorns in a row that we're going to be having. And with Pluto on our midheaven this month, and really for the whole next year, Taurus, as I said, we're going through a huge up leveling. It can feel really intense. There can be power struggles going on, but very positive and benefic that we've got lucky ducky Jupiter transiting over our home house for June and the whole next year. Very, very positive. So, okay, let's pull a card for, drop some cards. For Tauruses for the month of June. What is the message for the Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings for the month of June? Ooh, wow. The Void. That's an intense card. Stop. Embrace winter, the great cosmic womb. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Tauruses. This is making me think about how, yes, we've been having beautiful transits going on, but we cannot deny the fact that we've got Pluto on our midheaven. Okay, that is a really big freaking deal. And yes, Pluto is the planet of power. It can be power struggles. It's also our shadow side and the dark side of life and the great cosmic womb and the void. So, what are you avoiding facing or taking care of? Is there anything toxic in your life? Pluto rules toxicity. If there is, you need to stop and take a breath and be honest with yourself about that. Okay. And I'm hearing, I don't know, I'm hearing spirit say, if you need to take a day off to get your shit together, then do it. Because I feel like there may be some Tauruses out there that there's just so much up leveling and so much events happening in life that they're not stopping to take stock of maybe some things that need to let go of, that are no longer alignment, or maybe some things that just need to get taken care of. So let me know, Tauruses, if that resonates with you at all. Maybe doing some shadow work, because we've gotten the Void card, could be a good idea for this month of June as well. So I'm sending, it's a very, very intense and powerful time for the Tauruses. I'm sending lots of cosmic love your way, Tauruses, and have an amazing month of June. And I just dropped a card here. I'm going to pick it up. 1 second. Okay, awesome. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Do we have any Geminis here in the live chat or watching the replay? Because Geminis, this is your month. Okay. This is also your year, with Jupiter having just entered Gemini. Can I get a hallelujah for the Geminis? Hallelujah, Geminis. This is one of the most positive astrological transits you can have. Oh my gosh, somebody here is called Gemini Life. Happy June, Gemini Life. When we have Jupiter in our sun, moon, or rising sign, this is one of the most positive, lucky, uplifting, expansive transits in astrology. And now I'm talking in like a Jersey accent for some reason. Okay. You guys know I like to do different accents sometimes. Yes. Hallelujah. This is very, very nice for the Geminis. So this is not just for the month for the month of June, but for the whole next year with Jupiter in your sign. Very positive energy. Very good time to be doing foreign travel. Very good time to be open to new opportunities. Laura's laughing at me. To be taking courses, to be learning new information, and saying yes to being in positivity and optimism and the opportunities that want to present themselves for you. So not just the month of June we're talking about here, the whole next year with Jupiter in Gemini, very, very positive. And this is not a normal Gemini season, because this is the first Gemini season in 12 years with Jupiter in your sign. So with a stellium of planets in Gemini this month, in your first house, oh my goodness, there's some life-changing developments going on for the Geminis this month. You are being, I'm hearing Spirit say, empowered. You are being put in beautiful, opportunistic situations. Okay. And there's very big life changes in really every aspect that is coming through for you. So the biggest piece of advice I can say for the Geminis is be open to the love and the abundance and the positivity that is coming your way. Okay. That's, everybody wants to hear Jupiter in their sign, and you guys have Jupiter in your sign for the whole next month. So we've also got new moon in Gemini on June 6th, of course, happening in your sign. And, with Jupiter in Gemini and trine to Pluto, this is very, very empowering for you with also Jupiter there at the same time. Set your intentions, Gemini. Amazing new moon to be setting intentions. Be open. Again, I'm hearing Spirit say to the blessings of life. And then we have a full moon in Capricorn on June 21st happening in your 8th house. So this is very transformative and cleansing. And that would be a full moon where, it's in the sign of Capricorn. It's highlighting a lot of our work and careers. A lot of people will be changing careers this month and next month with these two full moons in Capricorns. Geminis, very much so. It is a theme for you because that full moon is in Capricorn in your 8th house of Scorpio. Real deal purging and letting go and facing the truth of what the heck is going on. Okay. Linda Christie says 8th house. Oh no. Well, yes, the 8th house is the most intense house, but you've got Jupiter in your sign, honey. So there ain't no crises going on. Okay. This is the 8th house aspect of being empowered with this full moon, letting go of jobs that aren't in alignment anymore, toxic behavioral patterns that aren't in alignment anymore. So make time, Gemini, for shadow work and releasing with that full moon, and you can be having some huge empowering breakthroughs. Very exciting astrology for you Geminis at the moment. Okay, so let's see what's our card for the Geminis for the month of June from the Starseed Oracle. I love when this happens. The Void. We've got the Void again. Taurus and Geminis both got the Void. Stop, embrace winter, the great cosmic womb. So I'm feeling like this is a collective message for all of us. So I'm going to actually read, because whenever we get something more than once, I think it's actually for all of us, plus the Tauruses, plus the Geminis. So let's see what's her name? Rebecca Campbell has to say about the Void card. If I can find it. Here it is. Oh my gosh. Everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelming and small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter of life, when we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with. When you're in the void, it can feel scary and as if you should be doing something. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of life. So for the Tauruses and Geminis and all of us, because it's come up more than once, surrender to the big life changes that are going on. Stop trying to control things and be open to the beautiful mysteries of life. And maybe spend some time in darkness, in like a dark room, or sitting outside and looking at the stars, and notice how you feel in the void, in the darkness, and what that has to offer us. So, wow, we're very cool. We've already got a card twice. Very, very interesting. Okay, now let's go to the Cancers, the Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. How are all the Cancers doing out there? Well, Cancers, you're going to be having that big fat stellium of planets in Gemini in your 12th house, which is very, very magical and spiritual and creative. And Cancers are already very naturally intuitive, spiritual, creative, mysterious. And this is even more of that energy coming in for you this month. So with Jupiter just having entered the sign of Gemini, not just this month, but transiting the whole next year over your 12th house, this is very, very spiritual. It is in alignment for you to be doing any spiritual practices, teachings, visiting sacred sites, having a spiritual discipline. Very, very powerful for you, Cancers, to be focusing on your spiritual connection for sure. And if you are a Cancer that is creative, there can be a lot of beautiful creative insights and inspirations coming in for you this month, and actually for the whole rest of the year, with Jupiter now ingressed into Gemini. The new moon on June 6th is, of course, happening in your 12th house because it's in the sign of Gemini. So, new moons are about new beginnings and setting new intentions. And it would be a good time for you to set some new intentions in regards to your spirituality, your creativity, any behind the scenes work that you do as well, those Pisces ruled areas of life. So definitely set your intentions with that magical new moon. Do a magical practice, can be very special for you guys. And then we've got the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st is happening in your 7th house. Okay. So for some Cancers, there can be committed relationships coming to a completion point. Because this is in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn rules work and career, this can be specifically around work partnerships or work commitments that are no longer in alignment with you, coming to a completion point. Also love relationships coming to completion point. And I'm feeling Spirit say that if you've been a Cancer that's been dealing with heartbreak recently, with this full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, it can really help you move forward from that heartbreak that you've been going through, move forward into more pleasure and enjoyment of life. We've also got a T-square to Neptune in your 9th house, conjunct your midheaven at the point of this full moon. So that Neptune is the point of the T-square with this full moon. Neptune on your midheaven, Cancer, another really spiritual aspect that you've got going on. But at the same time, because it's in a square, so more of the shadow side can be coming up. Being honest with yourself about any delusions, illusions, lies, deceptivity going on in your life, that could be something really highlighted with the full moon in Capricorn around June 21st. So be your magical selves, Cancer. This is a very magical month for you. Wow. And, since we got all of these transits in the sign of Gemini, and Gemini is about communication, in your 12th house of spirituality, writing spiritual songs, doing automatic writing, doing sound healing, doing communicative spiritual practices can be very, very positive for you all. So let's see what is the card message for the Geminis for the month of June. What have we got for the Geminis? For the Cancers. Sorry, I meant to say Cancers. Interesting, Cancers. We've got Wait, which I don't think I've ever pulled this card from this deck. Cancers, look at how beautiful the art is. Wait. It's not yet time. Wow, I'm getting like major chills with this card for you, Cancers. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. Interesting. So this is making me feel how, with the stellium of planets in your 12th house of Pisces, Pisces rules rest and rejuvenation and taking a step back, going behind the scenes. And with Neptune on your midheaven, there might not be something that you're seeing totally clearly at the moment, not because anything is wrong with you, but as the card is saying, it's just not yet the time. It's not the right time. So spending time, and here's my cat Ocean. I'm going to pick him up or else he's going to start meowing the whole time. Here's Ocean. Spending time reflecting and reviewing your life or any specific areas of life that you've been wondering about, curious about, there's still more time needed. And connect to God, connect to Source through those 12th house practices to get the clarity, right? To get the truth. That's where we get the greatest truth. It's not from any outside source. It's from our own connection to Source, right? So I hope that resonates, Cancers, and I'm sending lots and lots of love your way for the month of June. And now let's move to the Leo sun, moon, and risings. How are all the Leos doing out there? Wow, this is when I was preparing the charts for the June horoscopes. I think I laughed out loud for Leo because holy guacamole, this is like very, very active energy for you guys, similar to what the Aries are going to be going through because they've got all this Gemini stellium of planets going on in their third house, which is very, very busy and active. You've got this Gemini stellium of planets happening in your 11th house of Aquarius. Gemini is an air sign. Aquarius is an air sign. So Leo, this is about communication, about your friends, your group associations. This is an amazing month and also new moon time because the new moon is going to be in Gemini in your 11th house of getting out into like-minded community, socializing, networking, being open to learning new things, being open to new friends and connections. It's a very light energy of social activity, of friends, of fun, and social media as well. Some Leos may be going viral on social media, or it's a very good time to start integrating social media or the internet online work into whatever it is that you're putting your time focusing on. So amazing new moon to be setting intentions around calling in new friends, like-minded community, to be putting out your wishes and dreams and goals. The 11th house rules are future wishes and dreams. So perfect new moon, Leos, for you to be putting your dreams out there. And many Leos, it'll be good for you to show yourselves on the internet through podcasting, through videos, through sharing. It's in Gemini, the sign that rules communication. So you guys are going to be busy, and don't just sit at home. Get out there and network with people, meet with people, because there's really cool new, even futuristic things with all these things in your 11th house to start getting tuned into at this time in the month of June. We've also got the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, the day after summer solstice, is happening in your 6th house. So this is interesting, Leo, because it's a full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn rules work and career in your 6th house of Virgo, which is our day-to-day work, our day-to-day work life, clients. So for many Leos, there will be an ending to a career or a work project that you've been doing, but at the same time, you're being inspired to step into maybe some entrepreneurship, some new leadership roles, some more empowering forms, lines of work. And with all that stellium going on in your 11th house this month, I think a lot of Leos will be stepping into totally new directions, totally new age of Aquarian directions work-wise. Also with the full moon in your 6th house, it's highlighting your health and day-to-day routines and organization. So it could be the end of a health issue that you've been going through. It's, since the full moon is about cleansing, it is a really good time to do a cleanse, whether that is on the physical level or spiritual level as well. So Leos, let's see what card we have for all y'all Leo, sun, moon, and risings for the month of June. What do we got here for the Leos? Let's see. Ooh, deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. You cannot make this stuff up. You've got that full moon in Capricorn in your 6th house of physical healing. So make time for healing, for deep cellular healing. And maybe you want to try spirit showing me, one of these new Aquarian forms of healing modality that you've maybe never tried before. If there have been any physical or emotional issues, spirit's showing me the, maybe you guys have heard already about the EE systems or the Tesla chairs, or going to a sound healing, something that is alternative, that does really like going deep cellular healing. And I just misplaced that card. Sorry, you guys, I totally just went feeling the energy and the card is in the deck somewhere. So deep cellular healing, the Leos are going through and being inspired to focus on this month. Hope that resonated with you guys. Laura says, hilarious. Cleansing been going on physically and spiritually. Interesting. Very, very interesting, Laura. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, now we go to the Virgo sun, moon, and risings for the month of June. Virgos, you are one of the lucky duckies out there because you guys are having Jupiter on your midheaven, on your MC for the whole month of June and transiting over your 10th house for the whole next year with Jupiter in Gemini. So Virgos, this is a very lucky, positive time for how you're being seen publicly, for your work, your career, your long-term goals. And I feel like I'm talking a lot about work in this video because, well, we've got that full moon in Capricorn happening on June 21st. But for you guys specifically, Virgos, with that stellium of planets in Gemini in your 10th house, this can be a lot of Virgos stepping into maybe new Gemini type of careers or adding Gemini ruled things into the careers they have, you know, public speaking, writing, podcasting, teaching, learning, working with siblings or friends, working with or in your local community, things that have to do with cars, gadgets, or short distance travel. But regardless of what work field you're in, Virgo, if you're working, this is very, very positive for your career, having a stellium of really benefic planets in your 10th house and Jupiter on your midheaven. And even though Jupiter is not in your sign, with him being on your midheaven, that gives a really beautiful influence over your whole life, over your whole chart. So things can feel quite lucky and positive for you for the month of June. New beginnings in work and career and how you're being seen publicly. And good new moon on June 6th to set long-term goals with it happening in your 10th house. We've also got a full moon in Capricorn on June 21st. This is happening in your 5th house, which I like to call the fun house. Okay, Virgo. So this is like really nice astrology that you have for the month of June, Virgos, which I'm very happy to report to you because I feel like Virgo is not one of the easiest signs in astrology. I feel like it's one of the most challenging signs in astrology. So whenever the Virgos have something good going on, or like the Scorpios or the Pisces, or, you know, one of those challenging signs, it makes me really happy to report that to those signs because some of them are more challenging to be than others. And Virgo can be challenging because they notice everything, right? And they're very analytical, very, very smart, but they notice everything. And sometimes it's hard for Virgos to just relax and have fun. But with this full moon in Capricorn in your 5th house on June 21st, that is a full moon that can be very fun, light. It's in alignment for you to go out and do something fun and celebratory. And with that full moon being in the sign of Capricorn in your 5th house, our 5th house is about our gifts and talents being showcased and us being in our confidence to share our gifts. So there's a big theme going on, Virgo, around what you have to share with the world and your legacy, and you stepping into very positive opportunities to do so, even more confidence to do so. So I'm sending lots of love to you, Virgos. And let's see what your card is for the month of June. Jane says, my youngest son is a Virgo, and boy, oh boy, he is challenging. Yes, they can be one of the challenging signs. And they do need some fun. They deserve some fun because they do a lot of really important things in life that a lot of other signs don't want to do. So let's see. For the Virgos. Whale and Orca elders. Interesting. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. That is a beautiful, beautiful card. Whale and Orca elders. Share your song, be in your confidence. That's what I feel with that card. Sharing your song, being in your confidence. Jupiter's on your midheaven. Full moon in Capricorn in your 5th house this month. Share what you want to share and don't hold back. Be in your confidence. And if you're not feeling confident for whatever reason, I think you're going to be feeling more confident than usual this month. And doing work, self-work around your confidence and empowerment can be very helpful this month as well. Maybe you want to listen to some whale or orca sounds, music. I love to put those sounds on to inspire you to share your song, to speak your truth, to be in your boldness. So I'm wishing you Virgos a very magical and happy month of June. Thank you for watching. Okay, Libras. Now we move to the Libra sun, moon, and risings. Seriously, how are the Libras doing out there? Okay, because I was feeling a little bit concerned for the Leos, the Libras, while I was preparing this video, because I was feeling the energy of how a lot of Libras have been really going through it lately, really going through some challenges lately with the South Node being in the sign of Libra. You know, the South Node represents what we are collectively letting go of. And with us having the South Node in Libra since the summer of last year, we've been collectively letting go of karmic relationships that no longer serve us. And this has been specifically intense for the Libras because it's your sign in the South Node. So I think a lot of Libras are going through some challenging times, but I'm very happy to report with the start of the month of June, you're having a stellium of planets in your 9th house of Sagittarius, and Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, optimism, starting to transit over your 9th house for the whole next year. So this is one of the most positive things that we can have happen in astrology, Libras, when Jupiter is transiting over the house of Jupiter, the 9th house. Well, Jupiter rules the 9th house and the 12th house, but is the only ruling sign of Sagittarius, which is the 9th house. So Libras, this is a positive boost in energy that you are feeling this month. You can be feeling re-inspired, uplifted, optimistic. It's a very good time this month, and really for the whole rest of the year, to be doing foreign travel, to be taking courses. And this is a stellium of planets in Gemini in your 9th house. Learn something new or go deeper into a subject that you're already studying. And that can be really, really positive for you at this time. So we got the new moon in Gemini in your 9th house. This is, new beliefs that are coming in, positive new opportunities and expansion. Many Libras will be traveling, doing foreign travel around that time. It's positive to do so. And then we've got the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, which is happening in your 4th house. So this is, full moons are intense in the 4th house because the 4th house is the house of Cancer, ruled by the moon. So Libras, you can be going through a big emotional release around that full moon in Capricorn on June 21st. It can be around your parents or older people in your life, because those are things that Capricorn rule in astrology. Your relationship with them, your family dynamics, with it being in your 4th house. So the full moon can be a little bit more intense, a little bit more emotional, but very good full moon to be doing emotional release work. But I'm very happy to report, Libra, that overall the energy is starting to lighten up for you and get quite positive. And let's see, Libras, what is your card message for the month of June? Libra, sun, moon, and risings for the month of June. Wow. Okay. You cannot make this stuff up. I love how every card with each of the signs is like, what? Why am I getting a thumbs down up in here? No, thank you. I don't need a thumbs down. It's literally what's going on with that sign. So Libras, Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. These are all things ruled by Jupiter and the ninth house in astrology. You literally cannot make this stuff up, where you now have a stellium of planets in Gemini and Jupiter transiting over your ninth house. So you've been going through some tough Earth School life lessons with the South Node in your sign that, yes, it's challenging. We don't want to totally poo-poo them because they're bringing you great soul growth. And they're making you stronger and they're making you wiser. And so remember, I feel like what's coming through in this card is remember that we are in an Earth School. And it's not supposed to be easy here. We are in a 3D reality where it is a blessing to be in a physical body, but it's also, challenging. And as we go through challenges, we are gaining soul growth and wisdom. And also higher learning and studying is very good for you at this time with all those planets in the ninth house, Jupiter there as well. So you're going through huge growth right now, Libras. You should give yourselves a hug and a pat on the back because you guys are doing a really, really good job. Love you, Libras. Okay, now we're going to move to my fellow Scorpio, sun, moon, and risings. My fellow crazy Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio sun. Nobody understands a Scorpio unless you are a Scorpio or you have major Scorpio placements. And Scorpios, I'm really, really happy this month that I'm actually, I'm loving just in general, you guys, the amount of Gemini that we've got going on. I'll just pause for the Scorpios for a sec. Gemini is a very light, fun, airy sign. And I'm loving that Jupiter is in Gemini, even though it's its detriment sign. I'm loving we have a stellium of planets in Gemini. It's lightening up the energy. And this Gemini amount of transits going on this month is going to help. Like we literally had, let me see if I can find it in the chat. I think it was Space Geek. Was it you, Space Geek, in the chat that said, I'm a normie and I'm just watching this truther stuff? It's like people are starting to wake up. And this is an amazing month for us to be talking and having real deal conversations with people as they're waking up and support them. So Heather, I will get to the Scorpios now. Sorry, Scorpios, I went in a different direction. Nice to see you, Heather. So Scorpios, we're having the stellium of planets in Gemini in our 8th house of Scorpio, our home house, with Jupiter now transiting over our 8th house for the whole next year. So this is really, really positive and lucky and empowering to us. And, Scorpios, it's nice when we get a positive boost because we rule the darker sides of life. Scorpio rules the most intense sides of life. So when us Scorpios got some nice positive transits going on, it's nice because we can be so freaking intense and moody and overly serious, and we can be obsessive about things. This is where Scorpio, I feel like, just be open to the beautiful opportunities, blessings, and positive energy that want to come forth for you. There's some very nice life experiences that want to come forward for you this month, particularly around your friends, your siblings, your local community, all ruled by Gemini, that you don't need to be suspicious about. Okay, you don't need to be intense about. Just go and enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the people around you. And with Jupiter in your 8th house, be open to receiving gifts. 8th house is like gifts and hidden money. So this is very empowering for us that we've got that stellium of planets in our 8th house. We can also be having empowerment breakthroughs with that new moon in Gemini in our 8th house, with that Mercury kazimi in our 8th house. Linda says, don't need to be suspicious, LOL. Well, I don't know if you have any Scorpio, Linda, but when you're a Scorpio, we are so naturally suspicious. It's like, can be ridiculous sometimes, but that comes from, we've been through very intense life experiences where we just naturally get kind of like suspicious or, weary of things. But yes, you're right. We don't need to be suspicious. Also, Scorpios, we've got a full moon in Capricorn on June 21st. That is happening in our third house. So a light house. We're having this full moon happen in a light house in the house of Gemini. So this whole month for us is really wanting us to be grateful for our friends. It's highlighting our friends and our local community, our gifts of communication. And there can be a completion happening in how we communicate, or a subject that we're learning, or maybe there is a friendship that comes to a completion point. But overall, this full moon for all of us is wanting us to look at our works, our careers, our structures of life, and being honest with if those are in alignment with us moving forward into the age of Aquarius. So I'm really, really liking the energy of this month for us Scorpios. And let's see what is our card from the Starseed Oracle for the Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Risings. I'm feeling spirit laughing at the Scorpios, like just have some fun, just be open to the enjoyment of life, and don't take things so seriously. Okay. Scorpios get perspective. None of this matters. This is like the most Scorpio card ever. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. Right? So that's so funny, because I feel like Scorpios naturally can see that higher perspective of, well, okay, I don't really agree with that on the card saying none of this matters, but when it comes to the nitty-gritty day-to-day matrix stuff, none of that really matters in the higher scheme of things. But it's just such a Scorpio card, because Scorpios can really feel like none of this shit matters, right? Because they're seeing the higher perspective. They're able to zoom out. You know what I'm getting from this? I'm feeling like there's going to be not just one, not just two. I feel like for many Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Risings, there will be multiple people in your life this month that are waking up, that need to, not need to, they are open to you sharing your perspective, sharing your Scorpionic perspective, that none of this matrix shit matters. Zoom out, like we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Just go full Scorpio mode on the people that are waking up, because people are ready for it this month with the amount that we've got in Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini, and trying to Pluto. So many people waking up this month. And Scorpios, you are the natural truthers. You are the natural red pillars. So speak your truth, share your perspective. People are ready to hear it. If people open the door, okay, here's my personal kind of, I was going to say thesis. Thesis is not the right word. My personal way of being as a Scorpio. If people are making fun of me, oh, you're an astrologer, that's bullshit, whatever. I don't open the door. I don't even try to defend myself. I do not care. None of it matters. It doesn't matter, right? But if I'm talking to someone and they're like, things are kind of weird. Don't you think it's kind of weird that, Joe Biden doesn't look like the original Joe Biden? Or don't you think it's kind of weird that there's these people trying to control our lives? Or if people start to come at me like they're opening that door, they're opening that Scorpio door to go into the deeper perspective of what's going on, I will go, and I think we've got Jean-Claude here. Hey, JC. I will open the door and I will go full Scorpio with them. They are ready to take the red pill. And I'm feeling that so strongly for you, Scorpios. There's going to be people this month around you that are going to open the door. They're like ready to hear it from you. They want to have that Scorpio activation. Rational Mind Riot says, I call it scorping out. Yeah, scorping out. They're ready to hear your perspective. And maybe you need to say some really intense things for them, maybe call them out in certain ways, but people are ready. And in particular, It's your friends, it's your siblings, it's your cousins, all ruled by Gemini, and it's people in your local community. You go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, and you just talk to someone, and they're like, "Did you see that thing on the news? That was so weird. Do you feel like there's a conspiracy maybe going on?" Give them your Scorpio perspective, because you might be helping someone wake up and save their life. So that may be very intense for me to say, but Scorpios, just be open to that, okay? Crystal Gina, hi Gina, says, I did that in Janine's community chat yesterday with a huge rabbit hole post for her and you and JC. Hope you check it out. Okay, thank you. Interesting. So yeah, Space Geek. Yep, normies. I love that you're here, Space Geek. You're awesome. Yep, normies like me waking up. You go, Meg, and show them the truth. Well, you go, Space Geek, because you are not a normie anymore. If you're here, you've gone full light worker starseed mode. So congratulations, welcome to the club, and I'm very, very happy that you're here. Okay, Scorpios, have a happy June. Be open to sharing your perspective. Now let's move to the Saggies, the Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. How are you guys doing out there, Saggies? Pretty big energy shift for you, Saggies, because you've just had your planetary ruler shift from being in the sign of Taurus to being in the sign of Gemini, which is a lot lighter of a frequency. Again, you guys, I'm so happy that we have Jupiter ingressing into an air sign with Pluto in an air sign. It is going to help lighten up the energy and bring many people into waking up faster and faster. You guys might not believe it, but I'm seeing it in my personal life. I'm hearing other people talk about it in their personal lives. People that they didn't think were going to wake up are really starting to wake up. So Saggies, you're the sign that rules, freedom and the higher perspective and higher truth. So a lot of Saggies are already naturally awakened. But with Jupiter now moving into Gemini, your planetary ruler, same what I was just saying for the Scorpios, a lot of you can be inspired now to not hold back in the truth and the information that you're aware of, and actually share that out with the people in your life, with the general public, with your career. And this month we have a stellium of planets in the sign of Gemini, and they are all in your 7th house. So this is highlighting your committed relationships in love and in work and the commitments that you have in life. You can be noticing, Saggies, maybe you're in a romantic relationship with someone that hasn't really woken up yet, that might be going through this process starting in June, but could even go throughout any point in the rest of the year with Jupiter now transiting over your 7th house. You may be called upon to be in a supportive role for a romantic partner starting to wake up, for a business partner. 7th house of Libra can be really underrated, that it also rules our business partners can be waking up. So you guys, Saggies, will be having a lot of fun with that. And also a lot of Saggies starting new relationships with the new moon in Gemini happening in your 7th house, new love relationships. So if you're a single Sagittarius, this is a really good time to be dating, to be putting yourself out there if that's something that you would like in life. And we've also got not just the stellium of planets in Gemini in your 7th house, but we've also got a full moon in Capricorn, intense full moon in Capricorn on June 21st happening in your 2nd house. And now we're going to be having 2 full moon in Capricorns in a row, one in June, one in July. They're both going to be happening in your 2nd house. So this is highlighting your income, your day-to-day work, your values, your relationship with pleasure and enjoyment in life. So with these full moons being in Capricorn, which rules career, work, and how we're seen publicly, a lot of Saggies will be, and I know I've been saying this for a lot of signs with the full moons and Capricorns, but it's in your 2nd house of income, changing your income, being open to new entrepreneur types of ways of work. And this is quite an empowering full moon for you as well. There can be some big work changes, changes in how you make an income, an ending to an income stream, but it's also illuminating to you with the trine to Pluto, uh, how to make money in new ways that are empowering for you. So, Saggies, hope that resonated, and let's see what card we get for you for the month of June. I feel like there's a lot of expansion happening with Sagittarius, a lot of life changes, intuitively, a lot of new people coming into your life. Just feeling a lot of energy with the Sagittarius. The card that you've got is Breath of the Cosmos. Ooh, that's a cool card. My will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Interesting. This makes me feel how, Sagittarius rules the higher perspective, our cosmic perspective, and sharing that with others is going to be really helpful for others at this time. Micromanaging the universe is making me feel like, Saggies, is there something in your day-to-day life that you maybe need to ground into and to organize? Because a lot of you are very out there. A lot of you, Saggies, is one of the most woo signs out there in the world. So just making sure you're organized in your day-to-day life. There are going to be some work changes, as I was saying, and a lot of things going on with relationships with people. So making sure you're maybe in some sort of day-to-day routine, or you have yourself organized to keep up. That's what it is, with all the energies and big expansive changes that are happening for you guys. So hope that resonated, Saggies, and I'm wishing you a very, very happy month of June. Now we're going to move to the Capricorns, and you guys can maybe hear my cat Ocean is walking on my package of sage right beside me. So there might be some funny sounds going on in the background. Okay, so Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings. This is a really interesting time for you because we're about to have Pluto retrograde back into Capricorn for the very last time in our lifetimes, from September to November. And you're having a nice break with Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, but you are going to have that very last time of Pluto and Capricorn in the fall, with right now 2 full moons in a row in your sign in Capricorn. So Capricorns, you are in June, in July, and really the whole rest of the year, the ending point of this Pluto in Capricorn initiation that you've been going through. Capricorns, Linda is saying, get the F out, Pluto. I know those of us with Capricorn placements, we're like so over the Pluto transit, but it's going to be over soon. It's going to be over sooner than you know it. So don't worry, but let's embrace this, Capricorns. You are going through a total death and rebirth process right now, where it's very important for you to be honest this month and really the whole rest of the year into November about if there's any self-sabotage behaviors you're playing out, any toxic energies in your life, any even toxic people in your life, because we're coming to the end of that Pluto transit for you, which is all about cleansing and can be intense life experiences and changes, which we don't want to poo-poo. We don't want to pretend that it's not happening. We want to embrace that it's happening. We want to embrace the cleansing, embrace the letting go. So yeah, Linda, Pluto will be out of there soon. So it's not normal astrology still for the Capricorns, and it can be quite intense life events. Also, if that's not enough, your planetary ruler Saturn will be going retrograde on June 29th until November 15th. So we can be feeling the influence of Granddaddy Saturn in Pisces, very, very intense during that retrograde period. Capricorns, you've got a stellium of planets in Gemini in your 6th house this month. So this is very positive developments in moving forward with your health and wellness routines and your day-to-day work. And, a lot of Capricorns, with Pluto being in your sign since 2008, have gone through some very intense life challenges and even traumas that when we go through that, it can affect our physical body. So this month, Capricorn, is a really good month to be focusing on your physical body, your healing process. Very good month to be doing a cleanse with that stellium of planets in Gemini in your 6th house, to be maybe learning about new wellness routines. I know you guys, a lot of you guys, Capricorns, can be workaholics and sometimes not always focusing on the physical body and your wellness and self-care, but that's a really good area to be focusing on this month, and trying some new kind of wellness routines out can be very, very positive for you. Linda, are you a Capricorn? Can you remind me in the live chat? You say, my dad died in 2012 and my mom died in 2021. Both pretty intense. Well, I'm sending lots and lots of love your way. And yeah, it's been very, very intense for the Capricorn sun, moon, and risings. Death, like that we're going through, death and rebirth. You're a Capricorn moon like me. So yeah, I didn't have a death of someone close to me, but my parents divorced in 2012, which was very dramatic. So we've been through a lot of very intense life events, and happy to report, Capricorns, that Pluto will be off our back soon, but we're at the tail end of it now. So let's embrace the last time of this major Pluto initiation of cleansing and stepping into our empowerment to move forward. So let's see, what is the message, our oracle message for the Capricorns for the month of June? What have we got for the Capricorns? Ooh, surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Okay, this is a very, very positive card for the Capricorns. So remember, Capricorns, we are at the end of this very intense transit with Pluto in our sign. Yes, we've got 2 full moons in our sign. We are going to survive it. Okay, I think most of us have been through the worst of the past 15 years. Amore says, yes, very intense for sure. Just surrender to what is and know that this card, there's beautiful things coming forward. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. You know, we can have fun even in the challenging moments, even in the plutonic death, rebirth, initiation. We can still be in pleasure and joy and making love to life, being in the present moment. So we got some positive energy coming our way, Capricorns. Very happy to share that with you all. Okay, we got 2 more signs. We got the Aquarians, and then we've got the Pisces, and then we're going to wrap up. So Aquarians, how are you guys doing? We've got Pluto in your sign, even though he'll be retrograding back into Capricorn starting on September 1st. So you're starting to feel the what the Capricorns have been through with the last 15 years. And it's so funny. I love how astrology is so accurate, because I've been doing readings lately for a lot of Aquarians, and they've been going through huge life transformations at this moment with Pluto starting to ingress into their sign. But for this month of June, Aquarians, this is overall very, very positive for you. Okay, I think actually out of any of the signs, it might be the most positive for definitely the Aquarians, because this stellium of planets in the sign of Gemini is happening in your 5th house of Leo, the fun house in astrology. So this is a month to be embracing fun, joy, creativity, being in alignment with your inner child, spending time with children. With the new moon in Gemini in your 5th house and Jupiter in your 5th house in trine to Pluto, right conjunct your rising sign, this is a very empowering new moon and whole month for, you know, being in your gifts and your talents and your confidence and showcasing yourself out into the world. This would be a fantastic new moon, Aquarians, to release a new business, to release a new project, to start something new where you're showcasing your gifts and talents. And connecting to your inner child this month can be very, very positive, whether that's through just being in the energy of your inner child day to day or doing inner child healing can be really good. And we've got the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st, which is happening in your 12th house. So it's going to be very light, very fun for pretty much the whole month, what that's telling you of planets in your 5th house. Then that full moon in Capricorn, June 21st, is a little bit of a different energy. It's very reflective. It's very dreamy, very spiritual. And, these 2 full moons in a row that we're having in Capricorn are highlighting, yes, the system, structures, governments in the collective that are coming to a completion point, but in our personal lives, our own self-authority, what we do professionally, and our long-term goals. So a lot of Aquarians, with these full moons illuminating your 12th house, might be inspired to start new holistic healing arts careers, or even spiritual careers or creative careers, all ruled by the 12th house. So Aquarians, you are the unique rebels of the zodiac, and a lot of you can feel like you've been kind of weird or really different for your whole lives. That can be a challenge for Aquarians. But know that as we're stepping into the age of Aquarius, we are ready for your weirdness. We are ready for your spiritual insights, for your innovation and invention. We are ready for you. You are no longer the weirdos. You are actually the leaders as we step into the age of Aquarius. So I think these full moons in Capricorns are very, very empowering for you. And a lot of you will be stepping into healing arts careers coming up very soon. Aquarius, sun, moon, and risings. Rachel W. says yes. Also really good full moon in Capricorns to be, doing any kind of spiritual work, visiting sacred sites, spiritual practices, and pay attention to your dreams, because you can be having very prophetic dreams about what is in alignment for you in the long term, Capricorn, with your work. Going to be very interesting to see how this month plays out for the Aquarians. So let's see what is the card for all y'all Aquarians for the month of June. Going to be a very fun month. Excuse me. I mean, I love doing the cards as well, because they're literally for each of the signs so perfect. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Yes, we are entering the age of Aquarius, and you are the Aquarians, and you are the way showers for the new earth. It is happening. Keep being yourself. The collective is ready to see the visions that you've had your whole life of what you're going to be doing. That's something that I notice with Aquarian friends and clients. 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing an astrology reading for them, they're like, you're the first person that's told me that, but I've had visions about that my entire life, that's what I'm going to be doing. So it's challenging for the Aquarians, because you've known that you are very futuristic. You're very in tune with, fairness for humanity and those age of Aquarian concepts. And now we are ready for you, Aquarians, to help us step into the new earth. So it's happening. And be yourself. And thank you for the beautiful medicine that you share and that you're continuing to share. Love you guys. Okay. Last but not least, we've got the magical Pisces. Let me fix this chart here. Okay, Pisces, sun, moon, and risings. I feel like each of the signs have very interesting things that are going on. And what's interesting for the Pisces is your planetary ruler, Neptune, is in his home sign of Pisces at 29 degrees, the last degree in astrology. So Pisces, yes, we've got the Gemini stellium of planets in your 4th house. That's, what I've been talking about for a lot of the signs. But for you specifically, Neptune at critical degree in your sign, it's your ruling planet. This is a very critical point for the Pisces of transformation, of life change. Ocean is starting to meow. You might be hearing him. Of healing. There goes Ocean. Really feeling that word healing. Neptune rules healing, spirituality, our subconscious, letting go of addictive patterns, letting go of disassociating things that take us outside of our body. The Pisces are being invited to be more embodied, during these times. And with Neptune at critical degree in your sign now, the last degree, this is a big release point. This is a big cleansing point. So Pisces, I think this month doing any kind of healing work, any kind of cleansing work around any self-sabotage patterns, traumas that you've been through is very, very in alignment with Neptune at that position. And that's amplified by the fact that the stellium of planets that we have in the sign of Gemini this month are all sitting in your fourth house of Cancer, which is about, yes, home and family, but also emotional healing. I invite you to be open to emotional healing techniques. Maybe you want to see a therapist or talk to a healing arts professional if you've been struggling with release of certain things. Let me know in the Pisces, let me know in the comments how you Pisces are doing, because there's huge breakthroughs going on for you, but there's still releasing that is taking place this month for sure. We've also got for you the full moon in Capricorn on June 21st is happening in your 11th house. So this is highlighting your friends, your wishes and dreams, your like-minded community around the summer solstice, June 20th, and the day after the full moon in Capricorn, June 21st, get out into like-minded community, okay? So there's some cool new friends you can meet, some cool new innovative things that you can be learning about. Aquarian in nature, because it's the 11th house, to help you and all of us move into the future. So that's going to be a very empowering, lighter energy for you as we get to the end of the month with that full moon in your 11th house, but a lot of emotions that you're processing in the beginning and the middle of the month. And again, I really suggest doing some emotional healing and cleansing work. And you guys are already the psychic sponges of the zodiac. You're already very, very sensitive. So if you are struggling with what you're dealing with, Pisces, reach out to a friend, reach out to a sibling, reach out to a therapist, reach out to a healing arts professional, and communicate what you're feeling. We're in Gemini season, so communicate what you're feeling. And that's the best way for us to move through these energies. Okay, let's pick a card for the Pisces for the month of June. Let's see what we got here. Same card as the Libras. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. That's interesting because the Libras, Capricorns, and Pisces are the ones that, can be going through some of the most challenging times. But remember, Pisces, similar to what I said for the Libras, this is, okay, Ocean, we hear you, please. We are in an Earth school, and even the challenges and the traumas bring life lessons and great soul growth. And I'm hearing Spirit say that when we go through traumas, intense experiences, it makes us strong, that we are able to step into being space holders and being healers ourselves. So Pisces, whether you are a healer by trade, you have a healing energy, you are a natural healer. And a part of your job here on this Earth school at this time is to be in your healing energy, to share your magical gifts, and to embrace soul growth when we do go through some of those more challenging life lessons. Star Lily 888 says, I'm a Pisces sun and rising. I've been struggling with my healing, my emotional traumas from childhood. Well, thank you very much for sharing that, Star Lily. Your vulnerability, if you're struggling, or any other Pisces out there is struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to work with someone in what you're struggling through. So I'm sending lots of love to you, Star Lily. And wow, we've gone through all 12 of the signs and the collective reading. So if you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this Astro Woo for June. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. And I'm very excited that in just under 10 minutes, Jean-Claude, Janine, and myself will be live for Beyond the News, the public Rumble edition. I'm very happy to join JC and Janine this early evening, 4 p.m. Eastern time, just less than 10 minutes from me finishing this video. And we're going to talk about this summer of madness that we're stepping into and what the heck that means. So thank you all. Oh, look
Hello.
here. Hello.
Summer of Madness. Talk about going full Scorpio. I was listening to your show. You did a great job, Meg. Guys, didn't you do a great job? Oh my God. What a crazy month. Meg, I love your interpretation here and your analysis for all of the zodiac signs. You did a great job. Guys, she just said something that's very important. Don't forget to ask for help. If you need help, there's always people around you. And if you're looking at getting a better understanding also of your astrology and your transits for this year, how that aligns to some of the crazy stuff we're seeing for this summer. Please check out Beyond Mystic consultations. There you can book with Meg. If you use the coupon code Beyond Mystic in one word, you'll get 10% off. So please do. Sorry, go ahead and check that out. And yes, in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to have this crazy episode here on Rumble. What's your biggest takeaway for this particular Astro Woo, Meg? What would you say to the audience?
Buckle up, because things are about to get crazy. And we're in the last few weeks now of, I would say, the calm before the storm, the summer madness. And we're going to give it to you guys straight. There's some really intense things that we got coming up. So embrace the energies that we're in now. Have fun with the Gemini season. And, you know, we're going to get through what we're going to be sharing in the Beyond the News tonight. We don't want to freak you guys out, but yeah, some intense times coming ahead. And what you said, JC, was very important. If you are struggling, do ask for help. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to, you know, self-isolate, because we're not quite at the end of, you know, this challenge, this collective dark night of the soul that we've been going through yet. So
more changes to come. Yeah, more changes to come, and it feels that everything is quickening. You and I have talked about this in previous shows, but everything's accelerating now to a very rapid clip. Speaking of that, so too are your bookings. For people who want to reach you right now and they click the booking system, how quickly can they have a reading with you, and what do you recommend here on these 3 products?
Yeah, I think my earliest availability is the moment is the 1st or 2nd week in August. And right now I'm noticing, you know, it's always good to look at the birth chart, to go deep into the birth chart, but I feel like now is a really good time to look at people's personal forecasts for the year ahead, just because there's so much uncertainty. There's so many, usually people are coming to me, JC, with lots of questions about the current time in the year ahead. So that's a really good one to be doing at this time, I would suggest.
Mm-hmm. And do you think, you said it's the last maybe calm before this crazy storm in the summer, what would you recommend people focus on during this calm period of time? I know you just went through the 12 zodiac signs, but generally speaking, for the collective, what would be a good advice on how to use this perhaps a little bit of lull, although it's kind of crazy still, but lull compared to perhaps what's coming up? What would you recommend for them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say getting connected, getting into really strong connection with your loved ones and your like-minded community near you with this Gemini season, getting strong in those connections so that you are ready for no matter what happens. Okay. And we're not saying that it's the end of the world, but even just for your own support system, just getting connected to your friends, your family, your local community, face to face, not just online, like meeting people face to face. Remember that, guys? Meeting your local farmers. What's that? Like talking to the people in the grocery store, you know, how are you doing? You know, how are you really doing? And then seeing what people have to say there. So Gemini is very much about our local community and surroundings. So focusing on that, nurturing that is going to help us for moving forward for the rest of the year.
And you never know, if you go out into the open and actually meet people, you might stumble upon Meg. Meg's been doing all of these crazy activities and retreats, and she's somewhat of a rock star. Explain what happened at the last retreat there, Meg.
Oh, well, I think that was last weekend. Like you said, time feels like it's going by so freaking fast. But last weekend, Jens and I were invited. Well, Jens was invited to do a lecture at a conscious festival in Belgium called Wake Up Fest. And they also invited us to sing some songs, which was so much fun. It was our first time performing live since the you-know-whats were mandatory. So as musicians, like I haven't played a live show in almost 4 years because of that, you know, those mandates. So it's so much fun to be able to perform live, to meet people in person. So many people in Belgium, JC, were coming up to me and saying, I'm so happy that you're a part of the Beyond Mystic. Tell JC and Janine I say hi. They've, saved our lives. They've been so supportive for us. We love them. So, JC, you're doing an amazing job and affecting many people in a positive way. And there's like-minded people all over the world, you guys.
Right.
We're everywhere, and we're starting to get reconnected now, which is so cool.
Right. Well, thank you for that compliment, but I have to say you, Meg, are doing an amazing job. Between the course, the Astro Level 2 on the Academy, all of your daily readings and these, you're hitting it out of park. So big thank you to you, Meg, for all the work you're doing. And a big thank you to all of you watching today. Join us in just 2 minutes now. We're going to be flipping over to the Beyond the News Summer of Madness edition here on Rumble. Let me bring the link down for you guys as well. And we'll see you there in about 30 seconds or so. Any last words, Meg? How do you usually close your show?
I love you guys, and I'm sending so much cosmic love your way. And how exciting is it that JC ended the show with us? Feels very positive.
Awesome.
Okay. Love you guys. Come join us for Beyond the News on Rumble.
All right.
Bye.